Ciao, sono Anna, questo è My Italian Circle. Italian has many colorful idioms that can sound a bit weird at first, but are actually very common in everyday speech. We really use them a lot. In this video I will explain the most common ones in English, so you can understand even if you are a beginner. Because it's never too soon to learn idiomatic expressions. Chi ha tempo non aspetti tempo. After watching this video, you will know when to say that you know your chickens.
Conosco i miei polli.
And when you shouldn't flip the omelette.
Non rivoltare la frittata. "20 Italian idioms that we really use."
Ragazzi, buongiorno! Oggi voglio vedere se avete studiato. Vi faccio delle domande facili sui modi di dire italiani. Avete studiato?
Sì, abbiamo studiato.
Sì. Va bene, vediamo. Chiamiamo Genoveffa. Genoveffa, dimmi, cosa dico quando sono di cattivo umore?
Dici, ho la luna calda.
Va là, avanti un altro. Spartaco, cosa dico quando sono sempre sfortunata?
Ma dici, piove sempre sul mio sacco.
No, anche tu. Ragazzi, oggi avete fatto un buco nell'acqua. Now, let's explain what this was all about. I will group our idiomatic expressions by theme. Some are about water, some are about food, some about animals, and so on. Oggi ho la luna storta. This happens to me quite often. I have the moon upside down. It means I'm in a bad mood. Also, mi sono svegliata con la luna storta. I woke up in a bad mood. I got up on the wrong side of the bed. We can simply say ho la luna. It literally means I have the moon. Why the moon? Because the moon was believed to influence people's mood. The adjective lunatico, which means moody, also comes from luna. Quando ho la luna storta, statemi alla larga. When I'm in a bad mood, you better leave me alone. Rain and water are very common in idiomatic expressions. Let's see some of them. If I say, hai scoperto l'acqua calda, I'm making fun of you for saying something obvious or for finding out something that was already in front of you. You discovered hot water. You discovered America. I can also say of something, è la scoperta dell'acqua calda. It's like discovering hot water. It is something that was already there in front of your eyes. More water. Ho fatto un buco nell'acqua. I made a hole in the water. I did something completely useless. All my efforts were in vain. I failed. I can say of something I did, è un buco nell'acqua. È stato un buco nell'acqua. It's all for nothing. It was all for nothing. An interesting expression with the rain. Piove sempre sul bagnato. We can translate it with the English idiom, it never rains but it pours, but it's a bit different. It means that bad things happen to those who were already in bad shape, and good things happen to those who didn't need them. So, if I have a rich friend who wins the lottery, I can say, piove sempre sul bagnato. Another one with the rain. Non ci piove. It doesn't rain on it. This means that it's a known fact. There is no doubt about it. Su questo non ci piove. You can be sure of this. This is because if it doesn't rain on something, it's probably sheltered and well protected. Many Italian idioms have to do with food. There are literally hundreds of them, but I will mention the most common ones. È tutta farina del mio sacco. It's all flour from my bag. What does it mean? It means that something is the result of my work. Nobody helped me. I milled all this flour by myself. I can also say, non è farina del mio sacco. It's not my work. It's not my idea. Maybe I'm just mentioning something that someone else did. If someone is taking the credit for something they didn't do, if they're being praised for somebody else's work, I can say, secondo me non è farina del suo sacco. I don't think he or she deserves it. From flour to bread. Ha trovato pane per i suoi denti. It means that someone found a strong opponent or got themselves into a challenging situation. It doesn't mean that they're bound to fail, only that they will have to fight very hard. The bread in this expression is probably very hard to chew. If I say, non è pane per i tuoi denti, I'm telling you to give up, because what you want to do is too difficult for you. It's out of your league. Now from bread to milk. This is a curious expression. Mi fai venire il latte alle ginocchia. Literally, you turn my knees to milk or something like that. You can say that of someone who is very boring or exasperating. If you're talking about someone who speaks very slowly and never gets to the point, then you can say, mi fai venire il latte alle ginocchia. You can also use it for extremely boring things. Questo film mi ha fatto venire il latte alle ginocchia. This film bored me to tears. Finally, frittata. Non rivoltare la frittata. Don't flip the omelette. Now, why shouldn't you flip the omelette? Omelettes are meant to be flipped, right? Well, this expression means don't turn the tables in your favor, don't blame me for your mess. In this case, la frittata is something wrong that shouldn't have happened or something bad that you said. If I say, ho fatto la frittata, it means I made a mess or I said something that I shouldn't have said. Even if you like omelettes, frittata here is never a good thing. Talking about eggs, here's another curious expression. Conosco i miei polli. I know my chickens. But I don't have any chickens. This means that I know someone very well and I know what to expect from them. Why chickens? Well, I guess that someone who keeps chickens ends up knowing their habits very well. For example, chickens always come back to their coop at the same time every day, so I can say, non preoccuparti, tornerà, conosco i miei polli. Don't worry, he'll be back. He always does. Before I go on, let's listen to a short dialogue where our friends Marco and Elena use some of these expressions.
Senti Elena, ma hai comprato l'aspirapolvere su Amazon? Ma perché?
Sì, Marco, hai detto che ti piaceva. Ecco, come sempre hai la luna storta.
Oh, adesso non rivoltare la frittata, non sono io che ho la luna storta, sei tu che spendi troppo. Ho visto lo stesso prodotto al centro commerciale, costa meno.
Oh, mi fai venire il latte alle ginocchia. Ti ho già detto che non è lo stesso modello.
Certo, hai scoperto l'acqua calda, è il modello dell'anno scorso ma ha le stesse funzioni.
Uffa!
Marco is annoyed because Elena bought a Hoover on the internet, which he thinks is too expensive. She argues that he is always in a bad mood. Hai sempre la luna storta. And gets on her nerves. Mi fai venire il latte alle ginocchia. And he tells her not to turn the tables. Non rivoltare la frittata. The conclusion is that the Hoover in the shopping center is obviously an old model, but with the same functions. Hai scoperto l'acqua calda. Now let's learn 10 more colorful expressions. First one. È come cercare un ago in un pagliaio. This is a bit old-fashioned, but it's still quite common. Like in the English equivalent, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. It's obviously something impossible. It means that I'm looking for something that probably doesn't even exist. Un ago in un pagliaio. From needles to buttons. Mi ha attaccato un bottone. This is a very common informal expression, which means that I stumbled into someone who started to talk and bored me to death. Attaccare bottone means to talk endlessly, and it can also mean to chat someone up. Un attaccabottoni is a chatterbox. More expressions with objects. Sei in una botte di ferro. You are in an iron barrel. You are safe and well protected. Actually, it's often used ironically. If I say, allora sono in una botte di ferro, I probably want to say that I don't feel safe at all. An expression with candles. Il gioco non vale la candela. This means that something is not worth the effort, and it has an interesting origin. The original sentence was probably Il santo non vale la candela. The saint is not worth the candle, meaning that the money spent on lighting a candle in church was not worth it, because the saint was not going to do anything for me. Another religious expression. Da che pulpito viene la predica? It simply means, look who's talking. But since we love to talk about saints and churches, this literally means that the priest who is preaching is not fit to judge anyone. You can say it when someone is criticizing you for doing something that they also do. The shortened form is da che pulpito, also very common. More objects. Ha il coltello dalla parte del manico. Someone holds the knife from the handle and is pointing the blade at me. They have the upper hand, while I'm in a weak and dangerous position. The situation is getting even worse for me now. Mi sono data la zappa sui piedi. I shot myself in the foot. But since we like agricultural metaphors, we say, I hit my feet with the hoe. This is a very evocative image if you want to say that you made a situation worse than it was, or that you said something that harmed your cause. Anche l'occhio vuole la sua parte. The eye wants something too. This expression is used to say that appearance matters too. It is very common when talking about food. Maybe you cooked something delicious but not very nice to look at. From eyes to ears. This one is interesting. Mi ha messo la pulce nell'orecchio. Someone put a flea in my ear. I wouldn't like that. But here it means that someone planted a seed of doubt in me. Maybe they said something that may be suspicious or that made me think, usually about something unpleasant. And finally, another idiom that has to do with ears. Mi è entrato da un orecchio e mi è uscito dall'altro. It got into one ear and came out from the other one. Here I'm talking about something that someone told me, maybe an explanation or even a lesson, but I forgot what it was the minute I heard it. Probably I wasn't listening very carefully. And now, quiz time! You are in the kitchen, making biscuits with your children. Eventually, they taste good, but your children's biscuits are a bit lopsided. What can you say? Anche l'occhio vuole la sua parte. Appearance matters too. Number 2. Your friend is asking for advice. She has been offered a job she likes, but she would have to drive 2 hours there and back every day. In addition, the salary is not very attractive. What do you say? Il gioco non vale la candela. It's not worth the effort. Number 3. Your friend has always done badly at school, and now he criticizes your son for his grades. What can you say to him, clearly in private? Da che pulpito viene la predica? Look who's talking. And that's all for today. Spero che questa lezione non vi sia entrata da un orecchio e uscita dall'altro. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you like our videos, you can have a look at our Patreon page. We prepare additional content for our patrons every week. The transcript of this video is also available on Patreon. We need your help to keep going. A presto! See you next week!